Alright guys, here we go. Let me pump up the volume here. Hold on. And perfect. Alright guys, welcome to November 1st. I'm going to be doing a quick little video, a screenshot video of me doing the study guide. Hopefully we can get through this in no more than 2 videos. Alright, let me open up my browser here. Or actually, let's see. There we go. Alright. So, first question on your quiz is Staphylococcus aureus is a bacterial infection that spreads quickly through the body. Jaime is convinced he has such infection. Luckily, he is a molecular scientist who manages to extract his own blood and examine it under a microscope. He is immediately shocked when he finds a rod-shaped bacteria floating in his blood. Jaime calls his mother, crying to exclaim he has a staph infection. Was Jaime's conclusion supported by his observation? Why or why not? Now, if you guys remember back in the work plan, check this out. Coccus means what? It means circle, right? Or sphere. He looks at it under a microscope and notices that it is a rod. So, therefore, it can't be a staph infection because it's not a coccus shape. The bacteria that he looked at under a microscope was rod. So it was a different shape, which means it was a different bacteria. Okay? Alright. Number 2. Peter Frampton is taking antibacterial medications for an infection that his doctor diagnosed. So let's keep in mind this thing right here, antibacterial, which means it's against a bacterial infection. The second-year doctor prescribed his medication based on the presence of fungal cells with a rather large nucleus in his blood. Nucleus. Explain if this treatment will be conducive to his recovery. I'm going to say no, because bacteria are prokaryotes, which means that they don't actually have a nucleus, right? This doctor, this second-year doctor, looked at his blood test under a microscope and he found that it was a fungus, which fungus is a eukaryotic cell, with a rather large nucleus. So, because it had a nucleus, it could not have been bacteria. So therefore, giving the patient antibacterials is not going to do anything, because it's like saying that you're going to have somebody trained to hunt cats, but you don't have a cat problem, you have a dog problem, right? It's not really going to do anything. All right. Explain why plants are erect and why overexposure will cause them to wilt. Use the graphic organizer and the keyword, heck yes, cell walls. So, let me type this sucker right in. So, the reason why they're erect is because cell walls are rigid and strong and allow them to be stacked on top of one another without losing their shape, right? So think of a cell wall as like a wall. You need walls in order to build higher and higher structures, right? And those walls have to be strong. So the cell wall in a plant is really strong. Now, a large permanent vacuole. Well, a large permanent vacuole stores mostly water, right? And I want you guys to think of it as a water balloon, where it creates pressure, so it gives the cell its shape, right? So pressure from water gives it its shape. Now, transpiration is the evaporation of water, so if too much water is lost due to transpiration, comma, the water pressure inside of the cell will decrease, comma, causing the cell to wilt. Now, wilt is a vocabulary word that means that it just basically loses its shape. It instead of having a tall, erect plant, it kind of flops over. So that's what wilt means. So if you lose the pressure, what happens is you lose the shape of that plant, and then it causes it to wilt. All right. I'm going to pause right now, and I'm going to ask you guys to go to the next video because I only have 5 minutes for these micro videos.